The Fighting Irish storm into Acrisure Stadium and absolutely dominate Little Pat Narduzzi and the Pitt Panthers. And the Irish are on their way to the college football playoff.
By Samarza, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go, 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 go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal!
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, 5-5 rocket touchdown!
Notre Dame is number one!
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that isn't going to be Notre Dame.
Hello again, everybody. Landon Traylor, John Richards, and Dylan Kearns. Notre Dame steamrolls Pitt 37-15. This game very well could have been 47-3. We left a lot of points on the field, left a lot of points on the goalpost, but nonetheless, we also did throw a pick six and gave up a touchdown as time expired. But Notre Dame controlled the game for the most part. After the first two drives got settled in there, and JR, we really did control the game, but I want to hear your thoughts on Mr. CJ Carr, because I know you got a lot to say.
Well, let me tip my hat to the defense, because they were absolutely phenomenal on Saturday. They really bundled Pitt up at the first drive. You know, that took them a little bit to kind of figure it out, but as soon as they knew what Pitt was trying to do, they slammed them down. Yeah. Tremendous job to Coach Ash, the entire defense. What a performance all the way through. Many big plays, turning points, impactful plays. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, we're not a championship team because we got problems at two very important parts, our quarterback and our kicker. You say we threw a pick six. We almost threw two pick sixes.
Yes.
Thankfully, the defense held firm there. We were able to make a tackle before the guy made the phenomenal run. But I'm sorry, you guys. In our four biggest games, our quarterback has made some really boneheaded decisions. And, okay, I'll give the pick six up to the call. You know, it's hard to that's a quick read that's probably coming designed straight from the sideline. So
still bad though.
But the pass over the middle, right after, you know, we take that nice lead, you know, and then it impacts the rest of the game moving forward, because we now start calling plays and running patterns that are so ultra safe that we avoid certain areas of the field because we can't trust our quarterback to execute it and throw it over the middle and into traffic. Right. Thankfully, we've got such a impactful running game. There's an easy solution. But when we're, you know, trying to work our way down the field through the air, I'm sorry, you guys, there's something missing with our quarterback. Yeah, he's got some spectacular numbers, especially being just a redshirt freshman. But some of his decision-making, and there's just sort of a blasé attitude over there on the sideline. It looks like there's something missing to me. I'm not quite sure what it is, but he has been very unimpressive to me in our four biggest games. And every game that we go is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, we should win out. Hopefully we get into the playoffs. But I'm nervous anytime he drops back now. I really am. And same thing with our field goal kicker. I mean, what do you want to kick, a 40-yarder? You guys got any faith in kicking a 40-yarder right now?
Hell no.
I don't have faith in a 30-yarder.
And here's the problem. Do you have any problem trying to do anything short yardage? No. 4th and 1 on the goal line, we're throwing the ball. I don't understand that either. So there's kind of multifaceted issues that go into the main issue, but it's a pretty important issue. And I'm not saying let's bench him and bring in Minchie.
Right.
But there's a lot of seasoning and a lot of marinating that needs to be done with our quarterback. He makes me nervous. Very, very nervous.
He does. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, you don't have that trust. Like when he drops back to throw, you're damn near in the back of your mind, man. You're thinking, here's another interception. we're going to turn it over.
And his two nice balls, I'll give him credit. He recognized it, but they were on penalties. They were free plays. So nothing to lose there, right?
Right. Dylan, Jeremiah Love with yet another Heisman moment. That run was absolutely spectacular. The fans in Acrisure Stadium were stunned. Your audio's messing up, by the way, as well.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Man, like every week, this kid, every single week, just finds a way to just wow not only Irish fans but the entire nation. And it's to the point where I was watching the Ohio State game Saturday night, and that James Peoples hurdled a dude and got in the end zone, and person I was watching it with jumped up and was like, "Oh my gosh, did you see that?" I was like, I see it every week, and I've seen better versions of that. Like I've seen the guy clear his head, like, and that just goes to show how spoiled we are to have such a weapon like Jeremiah Love, a home run hitter, true home run hitter that is just electric, powerful, does not go down. I mean, you try tackling that guy, and it's hard to do. You can't do it. Just that run on a sprained MCL against Penn State, just gritty last year. He's had a multitude of those this year. That spin move just juked him out. They collided with each other.
Dude, that spin move.
Because he freaking ran into his other guy's knee. Like, that's just a move right there. That's how you play football. So that kid's legit.
Yeah.
Just every week. Just a superstar. Like I mentioned it. What's our record without him? I'm glad we have him so we don't have to know.
Very true.
I'm on my way to 50 years old, you guys, and he's one of the best Notre Dame players I've ever seen. Point blank.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely one of the best I've seen. And JR's seen obviously a lot more football than I have. But listen, I'll talk about Acrisure Stadium a little bit here. The stadium was very, very nice. Very nice stadium. They do a good job in Pittsburgh. The fans were great, minus a couple of people who were just absolutely just ridiculous nonsense people. I was disappointed in how nice they were, quite frankly, because it's a rivalry. I don't know. I feel like they could have made it a little more hostile. No, it was very loud. It was very great. The fans were nice to Bob and I. The stadium is just too big for Pitt, in my opinion. It was full, though. It was full for a little bit. And that brings me to my point. You know, Georgia Tech does this sometimes. They have a historical stadium. They play in Bobby Dodd Stadium. It's a hell of a stadium. They play a lot of good games there. When they have a big game like Notre Dame or a rivalry with Georgia, they take it to their NFL stadium in the city. Why doesn't Pitt just do the same thing? Build their own stadium, 40,000, 50 grand, something like that. Do your games there. And when you have a big game, a marquee matchup like Notre Dame or West Virginia, go to Acrisure Stadium. Because, dude, that stadium is nice. It is big. But I'll tell you what, when fans started leaving, it was so obvious because the seats are yellow. And it was hard to look at because there were just empty seats, and it's way too big for Pitt, unfortunately. JR, I don't know the history there, but why you live 70 miles away from it? Why do they play there?
So let me tell you this. I've taken numerous basketball teams to Pitt for basketball camp, and it's a beautiful campus. But it's smack dab right there in the city, and it's very, very condensed. I don't honestly know where you would put a stadium like that would make sense sort of geographically for where the campus is and where that sits in the city. They do have a smaller little bit of a venue, I think, for basketball that's really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you got the football stadium, you've got the Igloo, you've got, I mean, everything's kind of, I don't know. Did you find it a little tricky to get around downtown there? And everything's one way. You're kind of,
yep,
stuck with the water there. It's a little bit difficult to maneuver and get around. So, hey, not my problem to worry about.
Right.
I'm a Cleveland guy. So, you know what they say? They're stupid in Pittsburgh. That's the bottom line.
No doubt. Pitt had a very big first play. It was a chunk play. We missed some tackles there on that first drive. They looked to be driving. Then they missed a home run hitter. It went off the guy's shoulder pads. It bumped up, and popped off after his shoulder pads, and then Schuler lays the hammer on a receiver, and right there, Bob and I looked at each other and we said, "They're done." I mean, that was the moment. They're done. They're gonna fold, and they did. The very next play, it was a sack, fourth down, and then we have a big run on the first drive, miss a field goal, and then we force another three and out, and then of course Love with a spectacular run. We get a pick six, and it's over from there. I would like to touch on the play calling though, because you have two of the best backs in the nation, and it was fourth and goal at the 1 yard line. And I get throwing it on first down and second down. Why not run it on third and goal and then fourth and goal from the half? Not even the one, because Raritan was out of the half. Dylan, I don't know, man. I thought the play calling was very, very suspect the entire game.
I think, this is maybe it's bold. Maybe this is a bold hitting take, but I have been very, very critical of Mike Denbrock this year. I think in like the Wildcat shit he was trying earlier in the year was weird. Trying to run CJ like he was Riley early in the year was weird. Not I obviously JR mentioned you can't trust him to make big throws in big games and big moments. But the screen crap in Miami, like
the whole all year long, the screen game has been weird.
it's ridiculous. You have playmakers outside. I know they're missing Greathouse. Hopefully he can come back soon. But Fields is a good target. There's Pauling's good outside. Like they have the targets. And Raritan showed he's a capable tight end. I know he hasn't been as involved as many of the other Notre Dame tight ends in years past, but it seems very vanilla for someone that literally had a Heisman quarterback at LSU. So you got to figure it out, because there's been times this year where CJ looks like he's playing pretty damn good football. And then he gets out of a rhythm because, you have an opportunity to punch him in the mouth and run the ball. But instead it's screen. And next thing you know, you're kicking again. So you got to find a way to just find some sort of consistency. I've been very critical of Denbrock, and I think it might be, in terms of the panic meter, not here to where it's bad, not here to where it's good, but it's getting closer to that bad side for me.
You hinted on the screens. We ran a screen pass there to Jeremiah Love. We had a good drive going. We were driving the field, and we ran a screen, and it lost us 7 yards, and we had to punt. I just was not impressed from a play calling standpoint. Dylan, you mentioned it. You hit it right on the head. We're still searching for that consistency. Marcus said the consistency, I believe, was able to hear his post game on Instagram with the reporter on ESPN or ABC. He said, we still looking for that consistency. Yeah, we are looking for that consistency. We haven't seen consistency all year. I mean, look at from dating back to game one, we played very poor offensively. Come out against Texas A&M, play great. CJ Carr, as JR mentioned, he was 21 of 32, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 very, very poor throws that resulted in interceptions. You can blame the play calling. I blame the quarterback. That read, the pick six that he threw, you just can't throw that ball. The dude was right there. Pump fake, do something, man. But that over the middle, he was looking for Raritan. That was bad. I mean, that was very bad. I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. That reminded me of Tommy Reese. I'm not even kidding.
Tommy throw.
That the way that throw was just right over the middle to the guy. It reminded me so much of Tommy Reese. He had a rushing touchdown like Riley Leonard, but Jeremiah Love obviously was the star. 147 with a touchdown. Malachi Fields, dude, is a stud. He had 99 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 amazing catches. I don't know how he caught that ball. It was a free play with interference, by the way. That wasn't called either. The way he caught it with one hand went to the ground and still controlled it through the ground, and everything was amazing. Two amazing catches. That dude's a stud. Eli Raritan, 67 yards. Dylan, you mentioned it again. He is so hard to tackle after catching the ball. But I finally love to see him get involved. JR, I think we've kind of gone away from the tight ends this year, but Raritan is kind of a diamond in the rough a little bit.
Yeah, he led us down the field on that drive where we couldn't punch it in from the
Yeah,
goal
true.
line. We actually used a timeout there as well.
Yes.
And we decided to come out of there and we looked to go to Raritan. He is having some nice games though. The NC State game that we were at, he looked really good. He's a big, strong target.
Very hard to tackle.
It's difficult matchups for big guys like him and Fields to defend. They take up so much space. They're hard to defend. They have very reliable hands. They're threats in the red zone. So it's important to have to utilize him because going back to DK's point about Denbrock, I think he struggles with a quarterback who's a little less mobile than a Riley Leonard or the guy down at LSU. And you can see the times that we run Carr are usually high pressure situations where we don't really trust him to throw it. So it's like, let's unleash his legs. He's athletic enough to do it. Let's just hope he doesn't get hurt. So, but certainly the tight end, Raritan, he looks great.
Good point.
And you
there.
remember going back to 2014, he had every Golson that it was mobile. So he had those guys that can move out. So, I mean,
yeah, that's very true. Defensively, switching the page a little bit here, 149 pass yards given up, 1 touchdown, 1 pick six, 1 pick two, 70 rushing yards. 70 rushing yards. We absolutely mauled them. A lot of yards came in garbage time on the last drive for them. We'll talk about that little last drive in a second here.
Didn't Love have more yards than their entire team?
That was my next point. Love at one point had more yards than their entire team combined. They had negative yards rushing at half, and they only had 33 yards total at half. Love had like 100 at that point. Yeah, true. Schuler and Tay Johnson. Oh my goodness. Those two together. I don't know. I love this defense. I've loved seeing how they have turned it around this year. And I'm very impressed with Chris Ash. I gave him his roses last week, but I am very, very impressed with Chris Ash. Dylan, you can shake your head all you want, but from a coaching standpoint, to have your back against the wall, your defense is playing very poor. You can shake your head. That's fine. You don't. It's fine.
It's Marcus.
I don't think it is. I think he looked himself in the mirror, said, "Look, what we're doing isn't working," and for him to roll out this product every single week, they continue to get better and better every week, and that's when you want to be playing your best football at the end of the year. And I think we have yet to see our best defensive performance still.
I think it was great to see Young have a big game because in an area where we're a little weak along the defensive line, 95 had a really good game. He stood out. He almost had a pick six.
Yeah,
they utilized him very well. He is a difference maker in a spot where we're a little banged up, we're a little thin, and you wait. He's going to make a difference on special teams sooner or later too.
Yeah, dude's a monster.
He is
a monster. I would have loved to see him get that pick six. Oh, we had it too. We had it. But last point I will make, and this is about little boy Pat. Wow, dude. Wow. What a ass clown. Just an absolute ass clown of a human he is. I mean, you say you don't care. You say I don't care as long as we win as long as we win the next two. You call it timeout, 5 seconds left, and you're getting your ass kicked. Are you serious? Are you serious? Now, with 5 seconds left, that's when you want to start acting like you care about the game? Give me a break. Bob and I saw him. He was yelling at the officials when he was down 37-3. He was, yelling and moaning. We're like, oh, yeah, now you want to care? Get out of here, Uncle Pat. I mean, that dude is awful. And Pitt fans are fed up with him. I will tell you that right now. We were walking out of the stadium. They were saying something's got to change. Another big game we get blown out in. Hey, dude, I can't stand the guy. I never have liked him. I really don't like him now. That timeout, that's just a slap in Freeman's face. And I love how Freeman handled it after the game. Just kind of shake hands and get off of me. Go away. Kind of like what he did to Sig in the playoff. I mean, just shake hands and get away from me.
A lot of peculiar messaging all week long from him. And then he was sent out kind of in damage control all week long. And even at game day on the set, he was kind of like, I'm well worried about today. We're not worried about what took place Monday. Hey, no, again, they're just upset because we're ND. They're not. They got a tough. They might lose their next two. Let's hope they don't. Let's be Pitt fans.
Yeah.
I don't
we
think
need to be Pitt fans.
They might be Tech.
Pitt fans and not be Uncle Pat fans.
Okay, that's true. I don't think they'll beat Miami, but I do think they'll beat Tech. That's a little preview. I do like the quarterback too. That's a little preview for Wednesday's show, but though we got previews coming on Wednesday. Overall, folks, this is a win that I think we needed. I think we made a statement. We made a statement to the committee saying this is who we are. And like it or not, this is who we are. We won 37-15. Could have been a lot. Left a lot. Like you said, I think one of you two said it left a lot of meat on the bones yesterday.
Imagine if you put a full 4 quarters together. This team could beat anybody. I really believe that.
Me too. I do as well. We have yet to see us put together 4 complete quarters. I'll tell you that. I pity Syracuse because I think that's the game we're going to put together.
Was that Arkansas game a 4-quarter game?
It was.
Would that be what it looked like? Look what Arkansas has done within the SEC. Teams aren't beating them like that.
True. Very true. Very, very. I mean, shit. LSU 23-22, I think was that final.
Yeah, I mean, they're competitive. I hate this whole. Well, I don't want to open up another can of worms in the Big Ten and the SEC. Carry on there, Red. Carry on.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us. Very excited. 8-2, beat Pitt, beat Uncle Pat. And now we are on to Syracuse and Stanford. We cannot have a letdown because, oh boy,
Senior day.
Man, yeah, senior day. The senior day letdown is real. And JR's witnessed it a lot. It is real. And I'm not worried about Syracuse. I'll tell you that. But from his past history, senior day has always been a little weird. And the weather is going to be wacky. It's going to be a little warmer than it usually is on senior day.
Nice, right?
Yeah, it's going to be nice, but usually it's cold on
right. Rainy and nasty.
Whack. Yeah, exactly. We are back on a Wednesday to preview the Syracuse Orangemen. Be sure to like and subscribe. We got basketball and football content coming at you heavy. Everything is going on all at once. My mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. So is Dylan's there as he balances work and everything. So be sure to like and subscribe. We thank you, the viewers. With that being said, we will see you all on Wednesday.